हम तो रखते हैं मुसलमानों का
Please join me for silent prayer.
हम तो रखते हैं मुसलमानों का दीन.
Ameen.
So, Alhamdulillah, Sadr Ansarullah have also served as a Sadr Khuddamul Ahmadiyya as well in Canada, and by heart he is still a Khadim. So, most of his Amla members also says this, like he has too much kindness towards Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. So, whatever we need, we always ask Sadr Sahib, and Sadr Sahib is always there to help, Alhamdulillah. So, we'll ask Sadr Sahib to please share some incidents for our betterment. Because he was a Khuddamul Ahmadiyya whenever Khalifatul Masih have also visited the Canada. So any incident with Khilafat or any other Buzurgan as well. So we request Sadr Sahib to please.
Sadr Sahib has put me in spot. I wasn't expecting this. I just would like to welcome all my Khuddam brothers, especially they came from South, from USA, Majlis. Naib Sadran are sitting here. On behalf of Majlis-e-Amila, I would like to also welcome you all here. I'm actually very excited, and I really appreciate Khuddamul Ahmadiyya Canada and Sadr Sahib that make this initiative. I don't know wherever they got this idea. It was a very good idea, bringing our brothers from there, and I think in future we should go there. That helps two majalis interact each other and get new ideas and new innovations and new thoughts. So this is a good thing, alhamdulillah. I hope you enjoyed it, your stay here. Today you had a good day. I heard people enjoyed today, swimming and boating and so on and so forth. Have nothing bad to say in terms of it. In Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, I enjoyed my stay in Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. I was a Sadr Majlis, worked Khuddamul Ahmadiyya for so long, all my life pretty much. I was Sadr Majlis when I had a 2 visit of Huzur, and obviously there was a couple of visits. Of Khalifatul Masih Rabi's initial visit was here in 92. I came to Canada 92, and right after 2 months we had a inauguration of Baitul Islam Mosque. That's when Khalifatul Masih Rabi Rahmatullah came, and it was a small majlis. I think less than 200, maybe 300 Khuddam, I'm not even sure. I was appointed by the Psych by Dr. Aslam Daud Sahib, then Sadr Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. And then obviously a progression started, a lot of migrations, a lot of people came after that. And now by the grace of Allah, we consider we are one of the biggest majlis in Western countries, almost 6,000 plus Khuddam. 6,000 plus Khuddam. So it's not a ordinary majlis anymore. It's very hard to explain in specific. Sometimes you don't recall. It's just when your discussion, when talking comes, you just sometimes a point comes to your mind and you can explain it. But thing that I notice are, it's not new. I always say that Khilafat-e-Ahmadiyya is not an ordinary thing. And we all should realize this, and we should follow it letter and spirit. Or the muqam of Khilafat-e-Ahmadiyya, sometimes we don't realize it. We think that it's just an ordinary thing. It's not an ordinary thing. Just merely saying that Hazur, I love you, sometimes it's not that shouldn't be the only thing we say, that Hazur, I love you. our action should be there, and sometimes that's not there, and that is a problem. So my initial request, or my only request to my Khuddam brothers, and mostly of you are already probably doing it, is that understand the maqam of Khilafat. And your love for Hazur should be for the sake of Allah. I'm pretty sure last night some of you have watched Week with Hazur. If you haven't yet, you should watch it. And how the African one Imam stood up and said that, Hazur, I love you. And Hazur, I pray for you. Now, every sajda that we do, we should ask Allahumma yad imamana bi ruhul quds wa barik lana fi amrihi wa umrihi. Every sajda. Oh my Lord, strengthen Amirul Mu'mineen with the ruhul quds. That's the important message, that thing that I want to share with you. And as far as the incident is concerned, there's numerous incidents, there are a number of observations sometimes you do when you live close by with Hazur. I have mentioned a couple of incidents in last meeting with meeting of Amla here at Wane Tahir. One incident I recall is that meeting with, we in Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya Canada, we bought a land at Bradford, where we have 300 plus acre land where we inshallah will have our Jalsa next year. And Khalifatul Masih Khamis came, and we still have the issues going on with the county, and so on and so forth. And Hazur came, and I remember that the next door, 2 Bishi Street. And the mayor came here to meet with Hazur. And he's a bit from Irish background, but sort of had an attitude, I would say that. Wasn't too nice in a way, but he obviously came to meet Hazur, and Amure Kharjiya team was there, and Asif Khan and all these. And Hazur walked from this, he was sitting there, and Hazur walked to the room, and I was standing there, and Majid Tahir Sahib and all other people standing there. And Hazur walked, and once Hazur stepped in the room, the mayor of the Bradford stood and started shaking. I saw with my own eyes that this man is like trembling, And Hazur took his hand, and Hazur hold it like this. And then he looked at Hazur, and then he goes, His Holiness, if you allow, can I breathe now? And Hazur made him sit. And then Hazur obviously started asking questions, where you from? And he told about his mother and father and so on and so forth. So, जो हज़रत मसीह मौला इस्लाम को जो बताया गया था ना, हज़रत मसीह मौला इस्लाम इन्हें दुआ किया है कि ना इन पे रोबे दज्जाल. Sometime it happens in our life that we become so cool looking, we want to be a part of it. And that's what exactly Khalifa Masih Khamis Sayyid bin Nasali said on Jummah, कि inferiority complex नहीं होना और फिर तुमने तबलीग करनी है. Okay. This is what I feel sometime we don't do that. But as far as the Khilafat Ahmadiyya is concerned, the robe and the robe and the nur that you have with Khalifa of the time is just amazing. It attracts people. The surrounding where Khalifa lives, that also gets the barakat. So, Peace Village, it turned into a different thing. And you can feel that when you go to Islamabad. You can feel that a actual nur is descending on this place. And no, and this is not for Ahmadis. You know, we are believe in, so even some non-Ahmadis, non-Muslim, when they go, they exactly say the same thing. So I think we should be very thankful that we have a Khilafat Ahmadiyya. Extremely thankful to Allah Ta'ala. And we should pray for Huzur and our all activities. Most of office bearers that are sitting here, my request to you is our all activities lead towards the Khilafat Ahmadiyya. कोई ऐसी चीज़ नहीं करनी चाहिए कि मजलिस ये कर रही है. Every activity should lead towards Khilafat Ahmadiyya. That we want to follow the Hazur's footstep in letter and spirit. And I was talking to Naib Sadr Sahib. I recently went, so your Sadr Sahib was in Germany too. I recently went in Germany, and one thing that I noticed in Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, that their body language, their demeanor, everything was very positive. And their love for Hazur is you cannot explain that. It's beyond word. And they take the instruction of Hazur in letter and spirit, and then they follow ayah. They follow because उनके चेहरों से लगता है. So I think that's what we need to do if we want to get closer to Allah Ta'ala. The second request that usually I make, and I know he was talking to me that this is his last year in Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, and I mentioned over there a little bit too. Hazrat Masih Maud Islam ने एक जगह फरमाया कि अगर तुम चाहते हो कि मेरी दुआएं तुम्हारे हक में न्याज़मंदी और सोज़ के साथ कबूल हों, तो तुम खादमे दीन होने की तुम खादमे दीन बन जाओ. If you want to be a recipient of my prayers, you should become active in working of Allah. You should serve Jamaat and Islam Ahmadiyyat. So my request to you is, sometime you get tired, we get tired, we sort of, say, you know what, I need some breathing space. This is the word they use here. Enough is enough, I think in every aspect, whenever you have a time, not whenever you time, whatever capacity you are in, you should always do some Jamaat work. Regardless, Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, Ansarullah, Jamaat, anything. You should always commit yourself to Jamaat. Whatever capacity you are in. Thoda kar lo, kam kar lo, lekin you should do it. Because without that, there is no guarantee that you will be saved. ये लोग कहते हैं ना जी, मैं अब ज़रा hibernate हो रहा हूँ. I was very active and now I'm going to take some time and then I'll do it. The day will never come that you will do it. Once you start out from the system, you have this habit of sleeping, you are gone. So my request to you is, if you want to become, Hazrat Masih Maud Islam ने ये मलफूज़ात, मुझे exact word तो नहीं याद, मलफूज़ात मेरे ख्याल जिल्द नंबर 7 है, उसका सफ़ा नंबर 3 है. मैंने एक दफ़ा पढ़ा था किसी मन में कि अगर तुम चाहते हो कि मेरी दुआएं न्याज़मंदी और सोज़ के साथ तुम्हारे हक़ में पूरी हों, तो तुम खादमे दीन बन जाओ या खादमे दीन होने की सलाहियत रखते हो. So that's my request to all my brothers. May Allah bless you all and, help you to serve Islam and Ahmadiyyat better.
So what difference you felt between being serving as a Sadr Khuddamul Ahmadiyya and then serving as a Sadr Ansarullah?
Personal experience is this, and this is for all of young members जिनकी शादी नहीं हुई, and people that are married. And don't take it as a joke. It is essential, or it is must, that your wife is a very pious woman. Sometimes we don't understand this. If you want to serve Jamaat, your wife has to be a pious woman. इसीलिए जब हम शादी के लिए जो बच्चे हैं उनको चाहिए कि वो दुआ करता रहे करें कि अल्लाह ताला मुझे ऐसा साथी अता कर जो तेरी रज़ाओं पे चलने वाला हो. Because it's important. You cannot do anything. I mean, you get up tonight and you said, I'm going to Jalsa, Germany, I'm going to UK, I'm going to do this, I have a meeting at 10 o'clock. What about me? What about kids? You got to understand that. You have to give time and respect to your family and so on and so forth. But it is very important. So some देखो, Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that people come to me and ask me, Hazur, मैं शादी करना, what are the criteria? People ask about dole, a woman should have money, a woman should be beautiful. Hazur said the criteria should be the woman should be pious. That you know that you are in Germany and your wife is making sure that she offers tahajjud. You know that she's taking care of your family and kids and that is the challenge. So अगर तो आपकी बीवी अच्छी है, जो कि अच्छी है, तो आप खिदमत दीन करते रहें. लेकिन अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो उसका ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि तुम अपनी फैमिली को नेगलेक्ट कर दो. यू मस्ट टेक योर टाइम एंड यू मस्ट हैव टाइम फॉर योर फैमिली. Not all the women accept that way or this way, but balanced approach करनी चाहिए. इतदाल पसंदी is a good thing. The middle ground is always the answer of Sahaba. One Sahabi came to Hazrat उनकी बीवी ने शिकायत की कि हुजूर सारा दिन नमाज ही पढ़ता रहता, सारी रात नमाज ही नहीं पढ़ता रहता, मेरे हकूक़ ही नहीं अदा करता. हुजूर ने सहाबी को बुलाया और फरमाया कि ये क्या मसला है तुम्हारे साथ. तुम्हारे नफ्स का भी तुम पे हक है, तुम्हारी बीवी का भी तुम पे हक है, तुम्हारी जमात का भी तुम पे हक है, तुम्हारे खुदा का भी तुम पे हक है. But sometime what happened and that in Khuddamul is that I enjoyed it is that sometimes you just disregard some haq. I said, abhi aake karta hu, I'll see it. But let me go, I have to do the Waqar Amal, I have to do Khidmat-e Khalq, and my duties in Langar Khana, But that's okay. But you cannot do it all the time. A time comes that you have to give time to your family, your kids. ये कोई बहादरी नहीं है कि you get up and you offer namaz. In Ansarullah, in our ahad, in our pledge that we say that I will offer 5 daily prayers. I'll do self-reformation myself, but I will exhort my children to always remain dedicated and devoted to Khilafat-e-Ahmadiyya. That's the only difference between pledge between Ansarullah and Khuddamul. So when you are Nas Khadam, like, okay, I'm a Sadr Khuddamul or Sadr Ansarullah, my son is sitting in somewhere, a place that is not appropriate, a place doing some activities that is not right. That's not a good action on my part. So, itadal pasandi honi chahiye. And the second thing is that you should offer, and some people feel very shame. I used to don't talk it. अपनी बीवियों के लिए दुआ करनी चाहिए. जहाँ पे अल्लाह ताला ने कहा है ना कि अपने माँ बाप के लिए दुआ करो, रब्बे रहमुमा कमा रब्बा यानी सगीरा. वहाँ पे अल्लाह ताला ने हदीस में, ये भी एक हदीस में बनाया कि अपनी बीवी के लिए भी दुआ करनी चाहिए कि तुम्हें अल्लाह ताला उससे नेक औलाद अता करे और फिर वो आँखों की ठंडक भी हो और तुम्हारे घर में सुकून हो. This is important. If you don't have a good wife, you will have a problem. Jazakallah.
Ji, anyone else who wants to ask a question?
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. So, sir, it's just in the same context. I was recently visiting Montreal. So, their ex-Qaid Sahib, he met me, and I just wanted to confirm. He was sharing his experience, or somebody else actually who was sharing their experience, how they transitioned from Khuddamul to Ansarullah. And they said that they felt a lot more relaxed. And not only that, but the white hair that they got first, he said I started, getting black hair back after transitioning into Ansar. So is it a reality or he was just making?
मेरे तो पहले ही बहुत चिट्टे हैं. My hairs my hair is all white. Even I met when we had a meeting with Hazur. I don't know if you know, the Tariq Shah Sahib was sitting right next to me. He's very old. And Hazur looked at me. Hazur said, "Aap अच्छा नायब सदर सफ़ेद हो, तुम तो इनसे भी बुरे लगते हो." Okay. So I'm not sure about hair. लेकिन यह कि you're right. There's a relaxation of different kind. But if it all depends how you feel it. I think it's just the mood of your personal involvement to Jamaat and so on and so forth. I personally request every single Khadam who is going to be a Nasir is that do not consider yourself देखिए वक्फा आ गया. It's the same transition from Atfalul Ahmadiyya to Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. If you think that, oh, there's no one is calling me or no, nothing is happening, you go and involve yourself. This is a life. If you don't do it, you'll be dead.
Yes, Assalamualaikum, Sahib. So one place that sometimes we struggle is involving parents, especially fathers, in tarbiyat of the children. I think mothers play a very prominent role, but how can Khuddamul Ahmadiyya better involve Ansarullah in this capacity?
I think Mu'tamim Atfal needs to work. Forget about Khuddam jo ho gaye. Mu'tamim Atfal is sitting here. You should have a personal connection with mothers. Mu'tamim Sahib Atfal needs to know their mom's name, their kids, everything about them. अगर आप तरबियत करना चाहते हो. I myself was an Azam Atfal at time. I had opportunity of living in a Boda Peace, that area. 160 apartment is there. Every single woman I knew by name. Because they have so much confidence on you that then they give your kid. And that's how you do the tarbiyat. Ansarullah में बाप जाके lazy हो जाते हैं. ये बात ठीक है. You can remind them, ask them a little bit, whatever you can. But sometimes kids make the parents more active. And that's what our effort should be. बाबा नमाज पे क्यों नहीं जा रहे हो? लोगों को lecture देते रहते हो. खुद क्या कर रहे हो? Baba, why are you not going in Jalsa Siratul Nabi? Why there's a Jalsa there's not there? So if you make your kids, or in Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, make kids in a way inactive, parents itself gets activated. So, but for this, I think the coordination with mothers are very important. They are the one. Look at yourself. I don't know, my home, and not every home, my mother played important role. For all of us, all my family, my siblings. And most of us here sitting that I know as a tifl, when I see is their mother played important role. So माँ जो है ना वो बहुत important चीज़ है बंदे की ज़िंदगी में. So if you have very close connection with mother, you will inshallah be successful.
So Sasa, when you were serving as a Sadr Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, and you had certain, because all these are Amla members of Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. So what qualities you wanted to see in an Amla member that can be beneficial to the Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, to even Ansarullah, that this Amla member is the ideal person? So what qualities he should have?
उस वक्त तो मैं नहीं सोचता था कुछ भी. Things pressure इतना ज़्यादा होता था. We got to do this, right after. But now I realize it. Or now I think sometimes as an office bearer, so we pay too much attention as my duty. I got to do this. I got to do this. I have to do this and less focus on your personal spirituality. Sometimes we were overwhelmed. We are overwhelmed with the responsibility. Oh, I am a Naib Sadr, I am a Sadr, I am a Mu'tamim. I want to do this thing. And your namaz even get occupied thinking about so many things. Whereas your sajda should be just for sake of Allah, and you should have thinking about your weaknesses and then sometime my namaz, I'm very frankly telling you, jaldi namaz pad lo, kyunki we had to meeting going on. We had to do this. But now I realize it and I notice it, like Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, when he walked for salat, how calm is he? And he, no rush. Like Hazur se zyada busy kaun banda ho sakta hoga? Millions of people are sending their reports, millions of people are sending their personal stories, koi painful stories bhi hoengi. And Hazur has so many things in his mind. But when he walks for salat, he's very calm. When he offers his salat, he's calm. When he, after salat, he's sitting there doing full tasbihat. I see even Khuddam and even Ansar, they offer salat and they just walk out. So I think the personal reformation is a thing that we should always keep in mind. Khuda wale ho jaye. Hazur mentioned to Talluq Billah, Talluq Billah, Talluq Billah. So sometime office bearer, when we think that, okay, मैंने सदर की टोपी पहन ली है, तो अब I have authority and I'm going to dictate I'm going to tell other people do this, do this, do this, and I'm sort of exempted out. Or I'm sort of, things will go in its flow. I think it's the other way around. That's where we should be more humble. And sometimes we are Khuddam. For example, we tried it, it never worked. Is that meeting ho rahi hai? Our meeting should end 15 minutes before Salat. Why our meeting ends 5 minutes before Salat? Namaz ho rahi hai, chalo bhago ji. Why we do this? Why can't we just say in 15 minutes? No, after that, there's no discussion. Let's go, aram se jao, wuzu karo, jaake namaz padho. Okay, lekin even in Ansarullah mein, it happens with us, with me today too. Sometimes people get very passionate, they're speaking and they don't realize that the time is namaz, salat, and sab chalte hain, sab abhi karte hain, abhi khatam hota. The time salat is there and you go and you miss one rakat. और दूसरा ये भी है कि कुछ I said that previously to Khuddamul Ahmadiyya और अपने सारे को भी how close I am with Allah Ta'ala. मैं जो चौधरी बना हुआ हूँ, I am very telling other people do this, do this. What is my personal spirituality status? How many times I get up for Tahajjud namaz? How many times I come for Fajr namaz? When there's no one is looking, like no Sadr Sahib, no nothing. कोई नहीं सदर साहब को डंडा तो नहीं ना पकड़ा होगा. You come, it's when my choice, right? This is very important thing, and this is where I see we need a lot of improvement. People that live in suburb, I usually tell them, take Jah namaz, go to jungle, experience some time, like Maulvi Ghulam Raje Ki Sahib did, ya other Maulvi Roshan Ali Sahib did, ya Khalifa Sani did. When he walked out in jungle with Jah namaz in Qadian and offer salat some enjoy that moment, find that moment. If once you find that moment, then phir Khuddamul Ahmadiyya ka kaam is enjoyment. If not, then it's just merely an exercise, it's just a dunyavi organization where we do things and that's it.
So another question that for past like 8-10 years, what changes that you have seen now in Khuddamul Ahmadiyya as compared to the time that you were Khuddamul Ahmadiyya or even before that? So how things have evolved over the period. So if you can shed some light on how you guys worked during those days and what challenges you were facing during those days and now what you see as a Khuddamul Ahmadiyya.
I think it's moment ka kadam is always better. I mean, sometime, and that's not to disrespect to some of office bearer, but when we working in office, we think मेरे से ज़्यादा अच्छा तो काम कोई कर ही नहीं सकता. And sometimes यो नया ऑफिस बेरर होता है ना, he thinks, oh, मेरे से पिछले ने तो कोई काम किया ही नहीं, I'm going to start from scratch and do it all over again. It doesn't work in Jamaat. Rest assured, first in mind, you have to understand, this Jamaat is of the Taqdas Masih Islam. And no matter what, who is a Sadr and who is not Sadr, Jamaat will work under the guidance of Khilafat-e Ahmadiyya, and whoever he appoints, Allah Ta'ala will guide him. On that time, maybe that person was the best person. Okay, so this is the phenomena. Every Ahmadi Muslim should understand this, and every Khadim should understand this. Individual does not make any difference. Individual come and go, Majlis will always stay and progress, because this is the promise made by Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi Islam. As far as Sadr Saab's question is concerned, we had more Khuddam in terms of availability of human resources then, that I feel now is getting less. And reason behind is that we were the first generation that came from Pakistan. People were struggling. They have a lot more time. Now our new Khuddam, they are more knowledgeable, they are educated, they are more busy in their life, their jobs. So sometimes there's less human resources available. So that is a challenge. So if that's sometime you feel in different programs that this is a concern. But otherwise, I think today's Khuddamul Ahmadiyya is much better compared to Khuddamul Ahmadiyya of 10 years. Are much active, or even youngster that came, they are much picer, taqwa mein bhi zyada aage hain. I feel that way. So I think it's a sign. Jamaat is a sign of the truthfulness of Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi Islam, and Khuddamul Ahmadiyya is also in a way it's a sign of that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu's Khilafat, in a way that this Majlis will progress inshallah forever, regardless whoever is the Sadr and whoever.
So alhamdulillah, we had this great opportunity due to Khilafat, where our two Amlas of the USA and Canada were able to come together and discuss issues. I was wondering, can we have a discussion with the Ansar Amla of our common issues? Because there's a transition that we're seeing, and the trend isn't breaking. When the transition happens from Khuddam to Ansar, we're not seeing a break in that trend of increased activity, or you know the challenges that we're facing. So can we have potentially a meeting or an outing with Ansar Amla Sahib in the future?
I'm actually for it. Sadr Sahib Khuddamul Ahmadiyya is going to feed us, and I'm fine. And we Buddha people like to eat, so we have no issue. But actually, I was thinking about it, even bringing Ansarullah USA, inviting them too. Just to get this idea, Mr. Sahib, I like the idea of it. I don't know where did he get this, but I think it was a very, very good idea. We never thought about it, that, bringing someone from other Majlis actually it bumps up, spirituality bhi thoda banda uplift ho jata hai, and then discussion, talking, and then friendship is also matters. And wo jo thodi shyness hoti hai, hijab hota hai, wo dur ho jata hai. I think it's a good initiative, and I actually like Fra Nasir Sahib. I think, Sir, we should do that, because a lot of your Majlis-e-Amila members do not even know the National Secretary Tabligh Ansarullah, and their portfolio, their responsibilities, and what they do. It's a good thing. I think we could do that sometime. Off time, maybe once after your Shura.
Will that be off time? So. So the idea came when we went to Dallas. So no one was there. Like they were always saying, maybe Canadian Ahmadis, they won't get chance to get into the mosque.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I wanted to build that kind of relationship. So, Sir Sahib, at the end, I think they are done with their questions. So, at the end, if you want to say anything for our guests that came from USA, anything for them.
Yes, Sahib, I think one thing for me, I'll start with just thanking the entire Majlis-e-Amila Canada for this opportunity. Last night I was telling Nabsal Sahib earlier that our flight got canceled, 3 of us. And the Ansar in me, or the pulling Ansar in me, was saying, you know what, it's not meant to be. Go home, relax. Don't even come. But I had 2 other Mu'tamin with me, younger generation. They were like, we might drive tonight if we have to. So I said, you know what, let's figure out if we can find a flight. It's much easier. So alhamdulillah, we made it. And I can say that I'm happy that I was able to make it. This is a great opportunity, and I think Sadr Sahib talked about it a little bit, that this is none of us here know any of us Amla members don't know where we're going to be next year. So we're talking about plans that we don't know if we're going to be a part of. But what it says on this jacket, the first word here, brotherhood. That is something that it goes beyond any of our offices. That's the core essence of one of the core essence of being a khadim, is that brotherhood. So that is going to go much further than any of our offices. These discussions that we had, these bonds that we built over this this day, those are going to go beyond what we can do in our office positions. We can learn from each other and apply it in many different aspects, many different areas. Whether we're serving the majlis or we're serving anywhere else in any capacity. So, Jazakallah for this opportunity. I think this was great. The entire day has been action packed. Afternoon especially was very action packed. So it's been a blessing, and we look forward to. Hopefully being able to continue to serve in various capacities, whatever capacities that holds for each of us. And then hopefully we can apply some of these things and actually take this wisdom, take what we've learned and put it into place, because otherwise, these discussions really don't mean as much. But, we have to learn, all of us need to learn to apply what we've learned, because there's a lot that we can learn from each other. None of us are perfect. We have Khilafat that's guiding us every step of the way. But practical purposes, experience, that has a big factor. We can learn from each other in different, in our circumstances, in our situations, and put those into into practice. And maybe something works, something doesn't work. But that's also going to be a learning experience. So as I mentioned that nothing that we do is if we do anything from scratch, it's a waste of time. We're riding the coattails of those who came before us. We've learned from them. We've learned how they did things. Some things worked, some things didn't work, and we learned those things. We applied them in different ways. We've done programs in different ways, and that's what the future is going to do. I think the worst kept secret in America is that I'm turning a Nasser. Sadr Sahib as well. We're graduating this year, but I look around and I'm saying that it's in good hands. The Majlis is in good hands. It's this is the cycle of life, I guess, in a sense. Khuddamul has an expiration date. You expire, you move forward, and then the new generation, whoever is there, will be able to grab the bull by the horns and be able to take it to the next level. And it's always been that case, and it's always going to continue to be the case. So, looking forward to where the Majlis goes for both Canada and US, inshallah.
Yeah, I'll second the sentiments of Sadr Sahib here. It's been an amazing experience for us being here as an Amla, and it goes back to the blessings of Khilafat that we've had this experience. Otherwise, before this, we don't really think about in these terms. We are always learning from each other. We're keeping tabs, like how's Canada doing their Ijtima, looking at social media, pictures, discussions, and I'm sure vice versa, that's also happening as well in these tournaments that are happening. But we've never really thought about, let's sit together And with the blessings of Khilafat, it makes a lot of sense. And as we've come here, we have very similar challenges as well. And there are areas where some majalis are excelling very much, especially in Canada. There are ijtimas, there are the charity runs, and various other projects. So there are opportunities for us to learn from those. The other thing about this experience has been, as Sadr Sahib has mentioned through this weekend as well, that to really inspire or motivate Khuddam or Qaideen, the best way is to build brotherhood, is to have them sit together in company, and also company of our Buzurgan, Sobat-e-Salihin, and that is the best way to inspire folks.
हम तो रखते हैं मुसलमानों का दीन, हम तो रखते हैं मुसलमानों का दीन.